Welcome to Uncloaked Illusions. Chris Anthony here, and I just wanted to share a thought which I've been seeming to do a great deal lately. Conversation transpired again between me and a particular person, and they made the statement that I sound white. And I didn't realize that sound had a color, but nevertheless I entertained it. I said, okay, well, help me to understand what it is about the way I speak makes me sound white. Well, you don't sound like me, quote unquote, pretty much. And I'm like, okay, and what is sounding like you? You don't talk the way I talk. And I'm like, okay, I get it, because I'm not even going to explore why you would say such a thing, because I get it. I don't speak ebonically. And like, okay, let me just give you a little information on whether or not you sound white or I sound white, since, sounds have colors. So have you ever read Thomas Sowell's Black Rednecks, White Liberals? Probably not, but I asked the question anyways. No, probably never really picked up a book in his life. So I'm like, okay, well, let's just entertain the notion that, people can sound a certain color. So do you realize that, the research that Thomas Sowell did, he discovered that Ebonics originated in England, from the Northern Britons, from the Scottish, from the Irish. And when these particular groups of people came to America, they were bound to the South. And black people, Africans at that particular point, were not formally educated, were not formally taught the English language. So ultimately, they had to borrow the broken language that they were hearing, and they had to suffice with what they were hearing. And when you point out to someone that they sound white and you think that you sound more black, without having this knowledge that everything from our ancestry that's trickled down to us, it came from a certain parts of England, from the Europeans in a sense. So maybe you should rethink that. Couldn't really get through it. Just was a nice little moment to drop that type of information to somebody, just to see what the reaction would be. Mine seemed to be a little cloudy, that particular person. And again, even when you have no when you have no evidence that you have just victoriously ravaged a person in conversation, you can still walk away with it when you see that look of blankness on their face, because they know something just happened. They just can't put their finger on it yet. It may take them a few months, maybe even a few years, to realize what just occurred. I just thought that was hilarious, because I hear that a lot. I see a lot of videos on YouTube where black people especially, are being accused of sounding white because they speak proper English, because they enunciate all their syllables, because they seemingly understand subject-verb agreement and the structure of a sentence or a statement. And again, for the black people out there that value education, for the black people out there that speak properly and they do not cave into this damning image that's been plagued and placed on to black people as a whole, that could be a nice response to anybody that has the gall to tell you sound white, because you don't sound like they do. You don't sound like you take pride in presenting yourself ignorantly. So it's just something to think about. Like, subscribe, leave comments. I do have a Blog Talk Radio show that's going to be premiering hopefully on the 26th or the 27th of next week, this month for the most part. And we could actually have conversation. I could lay out the foundation of the topic, and we can go from there. And I think it would be interesting to interact with people, even if it is in a negative sense, because again, I don't mind opinions. I actually want the different opinions of others, but I will not allow you to degrade me or disrespect me, because I'm not going to do it to you. I would like to have an open dialogue with people who respect each other. Bottom line, I'm Chris Anthony, and I am out.